Hello and welcome to the Ben Talbot Football Show. This morning, Saturday, Infantino has scrapped his insidious plans to sell off stakes in the World Cup. It's a humiliating and necessary walk down after widespread opposition to this vulturous proposal that FIFA announced earlier this week. The opposition has been driven mostly by UEFA, who called an emergency meeting and clearly drew a line in the sand, threatening to boycott all FIFA competitions if the proposal carried through. CONCACAF and the AFC both joined soon after in their united opposition to the proposal, along with a chorus of football journalists and spokespeople. The British and French governments, among others, raised their opposition and opened inquiries into what could be done. What struck me most about this plan from Infantino, and it does seem to be led mostly by him rather than FIFA more broadly or the organisation at large, is how brazen the greed is. They have just finished the most commercially lucrative World Cup in history. The tournament alone generated a record $9 billion for FIFA, with a total $13 billion earned during the 4-year cycle, which is a 70% increase from the previous 4-year cycle ending in the last World Cup in Qatar, which earned them $7.5 billion in total. This World Cup set records for broadcasting revenues, for sponsorship revenues, ticketing revenues. They are flush with cash. And then they come out with this. The plan, in a nutshell, was to create a subsidiary company called FIFA Forward Enterprises to manage the commercial rights and the operational delivery of all FIFA competitions, including the Club World Cup and, of course, the Men's and Women's World Cups. Now, this idea alone, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, and under the right stewardship, could see greater revenues come into FIFA and be distributed out to member associations. Remember, on paper, FIFA is a non-profit organisation. All of its profits are ultimately to be distributed to the member associations or put towards the future and best interests of the sport. The problem with the proposal, the snake in the grass, is that Infantino has said the only way they will make the commercial subsidiary is if they also sell off a minority stake to private investors, to capital venture companies. They have valued this subsidiary, which would own the World Cup, at $20 billion and indicated in the proposal that a non-controlling ownership stake of 21% would be sold to private investors for $4.2 billion. There are 3 things wrong with this that I will discuss in this video that upset me. There's much more than that, but we'll focus on these 3. The first, this is a line in the sand that can never be uncrossed. Once the stakes are sold, there is no knowing where they will go to. There is no transparency over who benefits financially, what the identity of the investors are, their arrangement for compensation. There's no terms of exit to get rid of them. And we don't know how the stakes will be sold in the future. FIFA assures us that the minority stakes will be non-controlling and the investors will have no influence over the operations of football. I don't believe him. And I don't believe or trust where this path goes, because once you open the door to the wolves outside and let them in the house, there is no knowing what they will do next. But I can assure you it will be in their best interests. It will not be in the interest of football, not supporters, not clubs, not players, not organisations. There will be a financial pressure from investors to maximise revenues, to maximise profits. They will turn the screw to play more tournaments with more teams, more commercial breaks, more sponsors, higher price tickets, more money, more money, more money. The bank that would finance this, JP Morgan Chase, which is the same bank which was behind the failed Super League breakaway attempt 5 years ago, prepared a 25-page document, a sales pitch, which The Guardian reports in that perspective, their plans for financial growth include staging more tournaments. They reference doubling the amount of tournaments each year with higher ticket prices. They reference a biannual World Cup. And incredibly, in this document, it says that the World Cup is under monetized. That's right. FIFA believes it's not making enough money from the World Cup. Now, I can't think of many football fans or football professionals who just watched the last 104 World Cup games with all the commercial breaks, with the halftime show in the final, with all of the commercial partners and sponsors, the record-breaking $9 billion earned from the 5-week tournament, and thought, yeah, they need to monetize this more. They need more commercial fingers on the scales here. It is unbelievable. The second reason why this proposal is so insidious is because the bribery is blatant. Infantino has attached a $20 million fund available immediately for each member association if the proposal is passed, i.e., vote for this and see your bank balance grow by 20 big ones. It's paying for votes. The funding of each member association over the next 3-4-year cycles would increase from $8 million per association to 20 million, and then 22 million, and then 24 million. So Infantino is putting a massive financial incentive in front of the member associations to accept this proposal. As I've said before, they are trying to kill the World Cup and sell its parts for profit, sharing the money around to sweeten the deal for those who would vote to pass this proposal. And the third reason is that FIFA don't need to do this. They have gigantic cash reserves. Reportedly, before this World Cup, they had cash reserves of over $4 billion. When you mortgage your future like this, it is generally an option of last resort. Because of financial mismanagement or debt, there's no other way to survive, and so you sell future earnings at a discount or ownership at a discount to get cash in the door now. It's what Barcelona had to do in 2022 when they sold 10% of their media rights over the next 25 years in exchange for 200 million euros to keep them afloat now. They've mortgaged 25 years of future media revenues, and it's a deal with the devil they had to make because of debt and troubled finances. But FIFA are not in that position. They are doing this deal with the devil not as a saving act for the organisation or for football, but to enrich themselves. They receive a payout. The proposal has been scarce on details about who would run the commercial enterprise, what their financial compensation would be, but I can guess it will be generous, and I can guess Infantino will have his grubby paws all over it. This is a choice they're making to enrich themselves, make no mistake. Now, I've said all of that to make my position on the matter clear, and I know my thoughts are not original or unique, and most of the footballing world are echoing the same opinions, the same concerns, the same outrage as me, and it is with relief that I look upon the fast and strong reaction from UEFA, from CONCACAF, from the AFC to condemn and oppose the proposal. They've threatened to boycott the World Cup. They've threatened to remove clubs and nations from the Club World Cup and other tournaments. And this has given Infantino no option. Boycotting the World Cup was an extreme but powerful move. And today he has offered a humiliating climb down from his proposal. Now, this isn't over yet. I'll be watching closely over the next weeks and days to see how the drama continues to unfold. But it's safe to say Infantino has lost the trust of many in the football world, and it remains to be seen if he will survive and if his days are numbered. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.